we can only apologize. If you've stuck with us to this point, thank you.
Yeah.
I think we are getting all the signs.
That we need to.
Do you know, I've got so much I want to say on this topic, to be fair, but I might have to save it for another time. I can't remember the point I was making. Oh yeah, if you're in a challenging season right now, or if you find yourself in a challenging season, it's easier said than realized in the moment. But it is a case of literally nothing can last forever. And when you're going through it, that is your whole world. Like if you're going through losing someone, if you're going through bad news, if you're going through failure, if you're going through being knocked back, rejection, sickness, anything like that, that is your current circumstance. All we have is now. So if your now is a challenge, then you're not gonna feel the reality of, okay, this is just now, my next season will bring joy, my next season will be testimony, it'll be good news, that type of thing. So that's why I think I've said it before on here about why it's so important to have good people around you. I think there's no truer time to use the phrase that man should not live alone than when you're going through a bad time, because if you're left with your own thoughts, you can just spiral. Whereas if you have someone who is there for you and listens to you and counsel you, and even just to bring some sunshine into your life, even if it's just like a little bit of a breakthrough through the cloud, it doesn't have to be a clear blue sky of energy from one person, but that one person who can just give you that little bit of vitamin D in the middle of the winter. You know, sometimes that's all we need. So I'm just such a big advocate. Like, I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends I do have, top tier people. It's kind of like, and I'm guilty of it. I know you've seen it firsthand when I've gone through something really difficult, and I try and deal with it by myself, but dealing with it by myself is just me spiraling into an absolute dark hole. And then I share it with Elijah, or I'll share it with my friends, and then I'm kind of like, why didn't I do this earlier? Because these people are out here making me laugh. These people are reminding me of, like, there have been good times in the past, there's going to be good times in the future. These people are reminding me of different perspectives because I'm in the middle of it. It's like being in the eye of the storm. All you may see around you is the storm, but if you're in the island next door, you'll be able to see, like, oh, it's just a tornado and it's just this much space, but it's moving that way, which means that soon you'll be out of that. Do you know what I mean? So you need different perspectives sometimes. So yeah, I think people are important. Good people.
And obviously cast your worries onto the Lord, as it says. I think it's Philippians 4 verse 13. There's a lot of verses,
but
yeah, cast your worries onto the Lord. Like, the good counsel that you receive from the people is because it's come from God as well. So and the enemy wants you to be isolated, because then that's when he's able to attack.
Tell them the fact. Tell them the fact about do not worry.
Do not worry. Yes. It's actually mentioned in the Bible 365 times not to worry, which is ironically how many days there are in a year, if you're not counting the
leap year.
So if there's a leap year, there's gonna be one day you're gonna be worrying. But no, jokes aside, it says cast your worries onto the Lord and do not worry about anything. As even a song, is it Jireh by Maverick City, and basically quotes from Matthew in terms of, if God loves the sparrows, look how much he does for them, how much more does he love you? So if anything, take hope, take encouragement from the fact that God is there for you in those seasons. When you are struggling, when you can't walk anymore, God will be the one to carry you and lift you up. So bring it to the Lord, and obviously confide in those that you trust. And it's by no coincidence that we got that card from the stories today in terms of what can the church and people do for others. It's all tied in the sense that we need people to just be there for us and to understand what is it that you need right now, especially in those seasons where there's turmoil, where there's trouble, where you may be in a bad spot. There's a reason why you're in that spot, but rest assured you will get out of that spot. Everything is temporary, and bring it to the Lord. Cast your worries onto the Lord, and ask for counsel where you need it. I said it last week, there's no harm in asking for help, in whatever circumstance that is. And even if you've read the verse of the day today, which is Thursday the 20th, it says that we should pray for one another, cast us to express our sins to one another, and in doing so we will find healing. We will find
problem shared is a problem halved. Absolutely.
You know what's so funny? I said that to one of the professionals I was working with today.
Really?
Yeah, we're speaking about someone and how basically liaising with each other will help that family in general, and I literally said that. I was like, a problem shared is a problem halved. So yeah, it's all tied in. There's no coincidences.
Yeah, there's like so much more we could talk on this topic. Unfortunately, the elements are against us today, and we'll hopefully revisit it in the future. I really like that you picked it. I think, you know, and I just want to say for anyone who is listening or who may be listening, if you are going through a difficult season right now, like, yeah, we have a question and answer thing here. If you want prayer, we'll pray for you. But outside of that, like, especially if we don't know you, if we know you and you're watching this, let this be your confirmation. Like, we are out here. Like, I think my friends are realizing it more and more now. But when I say I'll go above and beyond for my friends, I literally mean it. I'm just an absolute hermit, so you may not see me for months and then, but you can send me a message saying, Tom, I really need to do this, and
I'll jump out of bed.
Best believe I could be wearing my bonnet with my over expensive robe, and I'll jump in the car and come and find you and support you. But if we don't know you and it's prayer that you need, or maybe advice and counselling, again, like our very first episode, we don't have all the answers, but you know, I can't stress how much I'm here for supporting people and supporting each other. And I think one of the biggest purpose in life is sorry, two became one. So when I say I mean we. Like, Elijah is me. I am Elijah. But yeah, like we do truly believe in people. Like I think that's for me personally. I think that's a big purpose in life, is being there for each other. And I think one thing I think about is the fact, like, if people were always there for one another, or always putting other people before them, everyone would be sorted.
That's so true.
And that's literally one of the, we'll get into another time, but one of the fundamental things in marriage is if you always try and meet your partner's needs over your own, your marriage will work, because they'll be doing the same thing. And I think that's the same for friendships, family. Like, don't just be selfless with the love you have to offer. And that goes for, I'm bringing it back to the season thing, but yeah, if you're going through a challenge, look at those that you know will be there for you, and you'll be surprised, because I think a lot of people, so I used to be a wellbeing mentor, and a lot of people would come to me, would be like, I don't want to bother people, and I'd flip on them like, okay, if your friend came to you with the same problems you're going through, would you shut them down? Would you be like, sorry, I can't help you? You wouldn't. And a lot of people have this thing of, I can't expect someone to do this thing for me, even though they know they do it for themselves. And even though they know those people would be horrified that they didn't come to them. Like, if any of my friends were going through something that I could have supported them with, and I know it's the same for you as well, you'd be like, obviously you can come to me. Like, I'd rather help you than watch you suffer.
Exactly.
And that's fact. Unless you've got terrible people around you. And in some cases, unfortunately, that is the case, that some people are actually surrounded by terrible people. But more often than not, your loved ones would rather sacrifice themselves than watch you suffer. If I have to have half the amount of money I need for the month to help my friend not suffer, I'd do that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just about reaching out. So yeah, if you're going through a particularly difficult season, I can't stress enough, look to those around you, look to the people who provide that light in your life, and lean on that, and just remember that that's something you can do for them in the future as well. So thank you for bringing that.
That's okay.
I don't know if you've got any closing
remarks. I think you said it all in that sense. I've given my piece on that matter. I don't want to butcher what you said, because I think it's a really good way to kind of close that topic, and I think we should definitely revisit in time. Like, there's so much more we can unpack.
When we're not having
all these difficulties.
Oh my gosh.
No, yeah. If anything to take away from this is, yeah, reach out from those that you know are dependable, and that key message what you said, like, that bring you that light, that give you that sense of, okay, I can go to that person, that person gives me a sense of joy. I know I can rely on them in my time of need, because those are the moments that count, you know, because it's not all fun and games. Unfortunately, with life, we go through those seasons, it's gonna be tough, but we need to find ways to kind of find peace in that with that in mind, and wrapping up in seasons in that biblical sense. Like I said, it's twofold. I want to talk about the seasons that we have in general, because what is going on with the weather?
Oh my goodness. No. Do you know what's true? Elijah, it's August in just over a week.
That is mental. Because what? Summer is June, July, August, right?
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's also
correct me if I'm wrong. We've had 5 days of summer, right? We had a we had a cyclone. We had a typhoon. I'm pretty sure there was a hurricane at one point. I was playing a football match in what seemed to be, I don't know what it was, but
it seemed to be, I don't know what it was.
But freak weather, like torrential rain, stop for 10 minutes, come start again, like someone was just turning on and off the shower. That's how it felt. Generally, that's how it felt. And obviously there's more of a serious side to it, because naturally there's a lot of things that are going on with climate change, and I'm not gonna lie, this happens every year, but it's getting worse and worse.
It is weird, like, it's getting more unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I think especially for July, like, I know there's summer showers, so if we all did, was it geography we learned it? Yeah. We understand that obviously when it's really hot, like, that's why tropical countries have so many thunderstorms, because obviously it's so hot, all the moisture is going up, but it has to be released again. However, we're not that kind of island. No. Like, I can't call myself an island girl. Because I live in England. Okay.
England.
So it doesn't have the same weather. Like, why am I having tropical? Is the tropical storms about the tropical weather? Where's the sun?
Or it's the opposite. Just stifling heat.
Humidity.
Yeah. No air. Literally.
We had like literally 5 days of sun.
Yeah, I exaggerate. Probably like a week or two. Like, there was that period where we
5 working days of sun.
No, but all seriousness, it's so concerning. Like, I'm flicking onto the news and I'm seeing, is it China and
like Southern Europe?
Yeah, Southern Europe, Spain. There's so many places that are literally on fire. And I know we get like those forest fires and they happen every year, but it's crazy to see how frequent it's happening.
The global temperature has increased. And I think I saw an infographic which they had a prediction of what the global weather will be like decades from now. But I think we've already reached it, or we're a lot closer now than we're supposed to be at this point. So it's all a bit mad. I would like sunshine, not at the expense of obviously the world being on fire, but it's a bit peak.
It's scary. It's scary times. Like, there was something I watched on BBC News about how we have different epochs, and
so what now?
Epochs? Is that how you say it, right?
I'm not saying you said the wrong thing. I have no idea what you said.
Basically, like time periods. That was the phrase they used. Epochs.
Man said it like everyone would understand what we're talking about. What do you mean?
I'm sure it's epochs.
So electronic chicken pox.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm so bad.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm sure it's epochs. Maybe the emphasis is wrong. But yeah, basically there's different time periods that the earth has gone through. And we're now transitioning from one to another. And this one, and again, don't quote me on this, I think it's the anthropocentric epoch, which basically is just a fancy way of saying humans are the biggest contributors for the change in climate now.
Anthropocentric.
Yeah, I think it's
like
something like that.
Anthropology.
Yeah, anthropocentric.
Anthropocentric.
As you can tell, English isn't my first language.
Well, it's our only language.
But yeah, like, humans are the biggest contributors for the change in climate. So that's cars, that's, I don't
fossil
know.
Fuels. I was listening to the radio this morning. They literally said we need to stop using fossil fuels.
And like they've been knowing this.
Yeah, but they make a lot of money for these companies.
Yeah, they do all these summits and stuff, but like it is worrying. It is worrying. And obviously, like thinking in the future when we have our own children and stuff.
See, this is why I'm out here compartmentalizing, because little old me, I know realistically, and this is why I speak to people who feel so guilty, because there's only so much recycling we can do. There's only so much sustainable living we can do. When, number one, that kind of living isn't accessible unless you've got money, really, or you've got enough time to make sure that you've done the recycling properly, or you've gone to the certain places where there are certain types of plastics you can't just recycle in your box, for example. So you've got to go to certain places. You can't just recycle crisp packets, for example, in your box. So you've got to go to certain places. Most times people have jobs or they don't live near these places, so you're just going to throw it in the bin. Most times people can't afford electric cars. Most times people can't afford to go to Whole Foods. That isn't even affordable for the everyday person. It's these big businesses that have oil rigs out in the middle of the sea that are spilling oil. Do you know what I mean? These businesses that are making plastic packaging. Like, okay, you could just decide to stop using plastic. You could decide to stop making plastic, because that means I can't buy the plastic, which I now have to recycle because it's not degrading. But it's the small man or woman that now I've got guilt because I forgot to throw my Coke bottle in the recycling bin. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? So it is. I'm very much such a pro at compartmentalizing, because well and truly, there is only so much I can do, and I will do what I can, but not to shift the accountability. But I'm very conscious that I know the lay public is being made to feel like the responsibility is on their shoulders, when most times we don't have the time, power, or money to make a dent in what these big people who are lining their pockets based on the materials that are causing climate change. Like, I'm not saying I'm trying to go as extreme as, what is this, oil pollution people?
Oh, the oil protesters. What do they call it? I can't remember it. But the ones that are doing the protests with the orange powder and
mashing up art.
I can't remember what they're called, but yeah.
No.
You're thinking of Extinction.
Extinction Rebellion, is that not them?
I don't think it is. I think that's...
Extinction Rebellion is not because we're going to make the world extinct.
I'm sure the name's different though. Like the.
Is it not Extinction Rebellion?
It might be, but I'm pretty sure. Like when I keep seeing the
who do they not want to be extinct? Is it not humans?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's them that. Yeah, I know with the.
Oh, that's throwing stuff on
I think it's oil must go or something like that. But yeah, they're definitely part of that
I'm not trying to go to that
extremes. Yeah.
That's just going to annoy people and you're going to miss the message.
But yeah, just to end that in terms of seasons, like I said, being it twofold. There's a season for everything. And also these seasons seem to be all mixed up and discombobulated. And it's scary times, but we've got to do what we can to make sure we're being good stewards
of the world. And I do want to bring it back to a point you made. In fact, like especially if you're Christian, but even if you're not Christian, someone not believing in something doesn't mean it's not real or true. But you did make a very good point in relying on God. And I think I just want to really at least definitely make sure people remember that as God wants us to lean on him in those tough times. He wants us to remember him at all times, but I think a big test is not relying on your own strength. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, don't rely on your own strength. But make sure that your foundations are solid because of God. God is basically the center of that, or the firm foundation. He is that rock, and lean on him because he'll never let you
lean on him when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. He'll help you.
I really don't know the song, I'm gonna lie. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I was trying
to... Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you. You just call on me, brother, when you need a friend. We all need... No.
We all need a friend. It's like the Hedgehogs all over again.
No, you know that song.
Get to the chorus.
There's got 3 parts. Okay, lean on me when you're not strong.
I think I know the song.
I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need
Somebody to lean on. I remember this. I know that part. I just don't know the full. Look, right? I'm like baritone. You're.
No, Elijah, no.
I know the song. I know the song.
No, you were supposed to join in because that really. Did you just hear the lyrics?
I know the song.
Perfectly embodied.
I know the song. I just, sometimes it takes a moment for the brain to catch up. To remember what the lyrics are.
Because that is such an iconic song.
I know it's an iconic song, but there are some iconic songs that sometimes you just forget.
Do you?
Yeah. Seem like if, you forget when certain celebrities die and they're big time artists that have had.
I'm seeing a recurring. Was there a period of your life that you just blacked out? Like,
pretty much.
My gosh.
I'm convinced I woke up and I just fell asleep, and then here I am. Episode 3. Here I am. But anyways, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the football, because someone's gone. The football, because the Women's World Cup has begun. There's been a lot of hype and excitement around it, and rightly so, because truth be told, like, women's football is where it's at. In terms of the quality, the names, the exposure. I'm a big fan in terms of, especially like the Women's Super League, and just watching, basically see them in their element, obviously with the World Cup, and playing FIFA and seeing the developments that have happened with that. And yeah, it's exciting times, but someone has something to get off her chest.
Why did you have to bring me into
Because
this?
It's not that she doesn't like women's football. There's a particular thing that's happened because of women's football that she doesn't like, and it involves a certain celebrity that she is a massive fan of. I think she even mentioned it last week in terms of this person being like up there. I think we actually cut it out, but this is your time to shine. So what is it you want to get off your chest for the people to hear? What is it you wanted to talk about in terms of, it's a certain advert that was...
Okay, so basically so there's a song from Beyonce,
featuring Grace Jones.
Move Out the Way.
Move out the way.
Yeah, so they've used this song for the Women's World Cup advert, which I was like, oh my gosh, this is such, I love it, energy, like, yeah, come true. Now, I'm no editor, but like, by what's the word? By trade?
By trade. Yeah,
I'm not an editor. However, if you are an editor, I just feel like you owe it to yourself and the people who have to consume your talent, art, skill, to really utilize a song that there was just an absolute lack of energy. Like, when there's a beat, it's like do do do. And there's a part like where it claps, and it was like, so for me, like, I may not have the physical skill to do something, but I can at least say I can visualize it and then say, okay, this is what needs to be done. And I'm not in the industry, I'm not in the creative industry to be able to do that. So I can only imagine if you are, you must be even more elite than where my visions can take me. When I tell you, there was this one point, not a single cut was on beat. Like, every beat they could have changed the image, they decided, nah, we're gonna just not do that. And it completely lacked all kinds of inspiration. Like, the song, it was such a major thing, and I can't even remember which part of the song it was now, but just imagine it, like, I can't sing, but like something like that. So if you go like that, and I'm gonna be the image changing, okay? Like, it's one thing to not clap on beat, but to now have time to edit and look back and decide, yeah,
we're gonna run with that.
That's great,
Jimmy.
So
that's what we're gonna run with.
Yeah, not to knock whoever made the advert. And I'm kind of high-key knocking. I'm not trying to knock it. It just upset me because I really think it's such a brilliant song. Constructive criticism is when there's a powerful, like, beat that's the perfect transition for different images. Use it.
Yeah.
Just use it.
All that goes to say is the Women's World Cup.
I can't believe you made me talk about that. It just made me angry again.
I'm sorry. I thought it was only right because you exposed me last week.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
I know I didn't do it maliciously.
You didn't expose me though. You exposed whoever edited.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I thought it was something worth speaking about because it's something that's affected you this week, and we bring our things that we want to talk about in terms of our highlights. So maybe highlights are not highlights, but they were things that stood out.
You just
we highlighted it.
You've re-traumatized me. I'm traumatized. I'm angry.
That's not enough to cause trauma.
I'm angry.
That's not enough to cause trauma.
I'm angry.
Anger is, as I teach my young people, isn't a bad thing. Sometimes we need anger. Like any other emotion, we need anger.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Disappointed. And
I was disappointed, yeah. But you know what made up for it? The video I shared on Instagram.
That was a good video. That was a very good video. And I reshared it as well. I don't reshare much, but that was worth the reshare.
That made up for anything
that was like editing at its
fine. Oh my gosh.
At its finest.
Chef's kiss.
Je ne sais quoi. That's literally like magnifique. It was
it was a good advert.
That was a good advert.
Should we just not tell the people what we're talking about? Let's just leave it there.
Let's just leave it there.
That was a great advert. Oh my goodness. Wow. Loved it.
Should we? Oh, sure we got
plug. Ready to go now. It was a great advert though. Oh my gosh. You guys, either you were there or you weren't. If
you're a real one, you'll find it.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It was just a really good... Oh, you can explain it, to be fair.
Yeah, so like, I'll just do it from my point of view. So someone shared something on her story, and naturally, because I'm a husband, I don't even need to watch it. I just reshare it because it must be worth something, and I'm gonna get into trouble if I don't reshare it.
Wow,
at least like it. No, I'm joking. But I watched the video, and it was basically showing highlights of the men's France team, basically scoring goals, free kicks, doing skills, just all round prowess in terms of how they were playing, right? And
prowess.
Yeah, prowess.
Is it prowess?
Prowess.
Prowess and professional.
Prowess.
I don't even know what I'm trying to like.
Prowess.
I'm pretty sure it's prowess.
I feel like every 5 seconds we're how do I pronounce that word?
Did we even go to school in English?
I'm pretty sure I didn't get A stars in English.
But you literally did. I've got an excuse. I really don't.
Yeah.
What? Because I got a B.
Oh no. We're not gonna go. No.
Wow.
That's not what I was thinking of.
Were you trying to expose me and speak big?
No, I wasn't trying to expose you.
What?
I thought you was gonna talk about something else.
What are you talking about? My speech and language therapy?
That's what I thought you were gonna go. That was the go. I thought that was gonna be the go-to because that's a valid excuse. That's something I would lean on. I'd be like, yeah. But you weren't.
I'm not my pastor, I'm joking. No, yeah, I do literally speak like I didn't get raised in England.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You sound like someone from Chelsea, Kensington. With a bit of a twang.
But as you were saying,
anyways, yeah, whatever that word is. But basically, they were just finessing the game as France do. Anyone that watches football knows that France is basically one of the best teams out there. And then the clip is going on. I'm like, why did you share this? And why is it such a big thing? Because there was like loads of likes on it. And then they basically dissect the video where, say for example, like a player like Mbappe, they remove the layering of Mbappe and move it to the side, and then it's literally basically a woman who plays for France as the player. Like the players have all been layered with men, and it's actually the women that are playing as they are. And then so they remove all the men that basically overlaid on the women, and I was like, literally, it was just a moment like, oh gosh, like wow. And it's it made me think like, would I have watched that if it was the women? If I knew just from the get-go was the women, would I have just skipped it? And then they do like a little sort of shot where they say, same way we basically support the men, we should be supporting the women, and realize that they can do just as good as the men do, if not better. And yeah, it was just such a powerful message. And I think the BBC should have learned something from that
kind of editing.
From that kind of editing.
Gosh, these people out here doing AI on top of moving.
Yeah, like trust me, if they did something like that for the BBC advert, that would have been on news. That would have been on the news.
I was surprised that advert isn't on the news already. It was so, because even when I watched it, I remember thinking, would I have thought these clips were as sick as they were if they were women? Would I have just like not like taken? And when I was watching it initially, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so. I was like, oh my, you know when your heart gets racing when you're watching like a football clip, like oh my gosh, sick moves, da, da, da. And then I was just like, it made me think like, I don't even know if I would have probably watched the whole clip if it was the women. Like, I've watched the women's football, but I've got my own biases. I've always just watched men's football, and I have it in my mind like, oh, it's more exciting because it's faster and it's more skills and they're able to do more. But the reality is, like, I haven't really given it a chance. And these women work really, really hard, and they have amazing skills, as the video showed. And my mind was blown when they removed the filter, and it was like, it's not Mbappe, it's not all these people. These are women like scoring these penalties, making these tackles. Getting these angles and shots,
mental.
It was a great video.
But hear me out. Was it they laid the men over the women, and the women were overlaid over the men?
You're a hater.
I'm joking. I just wanted to kind of like.
You're a hater.
I'm not even hating. No, but I do really appreciate the effort that's going in, and I've been watching it for time, like women's football for time, before even, I guess,
before it was even popular.
But no, like, it's so good to see the exposure, and there's a long way to go, of course. But they're getting there, and hopefully this Women's World Cup can be a stepping stone in the right direction, especially for the exposure. I'm gonna wrap things up now because I think it's time. We've got to go eat as well.
Like, the sky was light
as you can see, there's no light anymore.
When we came in.
But yeah, I think it's been a fun one. In terms, it's been short. It's been sweet.
Has it been short?
It's been short in terms of. No, it hasn't been short. That's a lie. It's been sweet though. It's definitely been sweet in terms of what we've been talking about, and I think it's been a very juicy topic that we can go into a bit more depth later on. But yeah, we're gonna wrap things up now.
Can we ask though? Can you guys pray to Jehovah Jireh that we'll get the resources we need to avoid this situation? Yeah. Like, I like having it in the car. It's like a nice little kind of like, just get away. But it's more the setup is very interesting. So pray for us. Like, we're enjoying this more and more. And want to keep
getting used to it.
Getting used to it. Yeah.
And next week is gonna be a little different as well.
We won't say too much until the episode drops, and then you'll be like.
But yeah. All I'm gonna say is ciao.
Ciao.
Because it's been a great episode.
That's all we can say.
That's all we can say.
Anything else? Buongiorno.
Tutti frutti. I promise you.
Is that?
That's Italian for. I think it's mixed fruit or something like that. Tutti frutti.
That would make so much sense.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I am sure. That's something.
No,
I'm sure.
the way you like.
No. It's something along the lines of all fruits mixed together. Tutti frutti.
No, do you know why as well? Because that would actually make so much sense if it does mean mixed fruits. Because tutti frutti flavour never really tastes like in particular fruit.
It's like basically all fruits together. Tutti frutti in Italian.
Tutti frutti.
Yeah. But yeah, that's giving it away. But we're gonna things are gonna be a little different next week. But we've come to the end of tea time, and probably like the last episode, you could probably have made 6 teas by now.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube and you've got to this point, we appreciate you, because this chaotic, pure chaos. I mean, wow.
But there's beauty in chaos.
There is beauty in chaos.
The best art comes from. Let me try again. The best art comes from chaos.
Yeah, sure.
Vincent van Gogh.
I'm done.
How did they say his name again? Vincent van.
But it's like you have to say it like you've got a phlegm. But it's still like an O.
Van Gogh.
But I'm just gonna say it like an English person.
Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah. Or Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, chopped off his hair, made great art. So chaos.
Chaos breeds beauty.
Breeds beauty. Got there in the end.
Beautiful.
Smooth.
See, chaos from beauty.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap things up, and yeah, thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of Tea Time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and as Tom was said, that reaching the end, oh my gosh, I cannot speak.
You're ready for bed.
I am ready for bed, but yeah, we're gonna leave things there, and hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. And if you've got any feedback or anything, as we said, that you got any prayer requests or anything that you just want to kind of bring to us, please do reach out to us on Tea Time. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back again next week for episode 4, and hopefully it won't be as chaotic as it has been this week.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But yeah,
I'm excited for next week's already, but yeah,
I'm excited as well. Yeah. We're gonna but yeah, we're gonna wrap things up now, and we're gonna just say
ciao.
Ciao. Yeah.